Hi, Mark T. the Handyman here. Today we're going to do a spring startup for my Hayward pool heater. So I've got all the piping in here. I've got all the union connections on the pool heater and on the filter and on the pump. On this has a chlorinator right here. If you notice, my pump extension cord connected to it. And the reason I do that is so that in the wintertime I can pull the plug out, take the piping off, and take the pump into the house, and so it won't be exposed to the winter conditions here. This here is the outlet for that. This here is an extra outlet I put in for the Rainbird sprinkler system. Here we've got our pool timer, and then we have the two switches, one for the pump and one for the pool heater. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch this to on, and that will turn the pump on and also the pool heater. So we're just going to turn that on. I have the little tabs in there that turn it on and off, but we're just going to bypass that. And that turns on our pump and supplies electricity to our pool heater. Bring this closer. And this is our pool heater. I've got the gas off right now so we can go through testing of the flame safety switch. So the way we turn the pool heater on, we push this little button. The water temperature is 50 degrees. This is for a spa, but it'll work. And that's for our pool. And so we'll let it go through its cycle. It should come on and then go through the cycle of pre-purge, ignition, failure, and then post-purge. It'll do that 3 times, and then we'll get the IF signal. And that's how we're going to test the flame safeguard. And then we'll turn the gas valve back on, and we'll go through the ignition cycle. So that'll prove that the gas valve is working. There you can see the gas valve just came on, and it just went off because it didn't sense a flame. Now it's going to go through that 3 times, and then we'll check the inside equipment. And we're going to speed that purge up a little bit by fast forwarding the video, and then we'll see it try to light again, and then the IF code should come on. Okay, there we got the green light again. The gas valve just opened and now it closed again. So it's going to do that one more time, and then we'll get the IF code. Now we've got the gas back on, now it's off, now we should go into the IF code. It's doing its post-purge now, and there it is. So we know that the flame sensor is working properly. Now I'm going to turn the gas back on, and I'm going to reset this by turning the power off. You can see the power's off right now, and we're going to turn this timer back on. We got that back on. We know we've got power, and the pool heater is turned on. So now we're going through our pre-purge, and we should be able to hear the gas valve go on and then ignite. There's our ignition. Flames on, and it's staying on. And if you look, you can see the burner is on. So we know our flame sensor works, we know our gas valve works, and we know that our igniter works. But we're going to do a little bit of deeper checking on some of that other stuff. So we're going to take the cover off here. As you can see, our induced draft fan motor is working. There's our gas valve, it's working. Here's our transformer. Here's our circuit board. We can't see the flame, but we know it's there, obviously. One of the things I always suggest is to always clean this out. I've actually pulled out the leaves before we started. So before you start, that's what you want to do. You want to pull the leaves out. And like I said, we had leaves and a couple little other things, but we've taken them all out. And you want to make sure that's clean. During the summertime, if there's any kind of problem in there, it's not going to be caused because of dirt. here's our igniter right here, and there's our flame sensor wires right there. And you can see that's turning right there. That's the fan. So we just did a check and a startup of our pool heater, and everything's working fine. But if you wanted to go the extra step and do a little bit of PM work, then it's not a bad idea to take out the flame sensor and clean it. A dirty flame sensor is one of the more popular calls out there because it doesn't take much for them to not function with a little bit of carbon or dirt or whatever it can form while it's doing its job. There's 3 screws, fairly easy to take out. And then you pull the flame sensor out very gently. It's not going to break that easy, but it can be broke. And there it is. And in the old days, we would take some real fine sand cloth and clean it off that way. There's could be carbon on there or just little flakes of stuff. This one's not really dirty, but now they recommend using a dollar bill and wiping it clean because it's not as harsh as sandpaper. Not a bad idea. I sometimes use a dollar bill, but this brush here is fairly delicate. It's not going to harm anything. You just want to brush it off or clean it. Like I said, in the old days we used sandpaper. Today that's just not acceptable because of the coating that's on there. And by doing that, cleaning this off, you might be preventing yourself a service call in the middle of summer when you need that pool heater. And it's easy to take off, it's easy to put back on. It always helps if you have a magnetized screwdriver to put the screws back in because the screwdriver will hold a little better. And I usually do one, but I don't tighten it. This way you've got a little bit of play in where the next hole is. And we got 2 of them in. And here's the 3rd one right here. And after we get all 3 started, we'll tighten those up. And like I say, it's just not a bad idea to do a little bit of planned maintenance here. It's not time consuming in many cases. This will take less than 10 minutes. I've done it before, so it's not like I'm wondering how to do it. And just snug them up and you're ready to go. Here we go. And this is a picture of the combustion compartment on the pool heater. And that's that. Again, we already know the pool heater is working. Planned maintenance is all about correcting a problem before it gets worse. This particular task is a little more involved than cleaning a flame sensor. Another planned maintenance task is to check the burner ports and clean them if needed. The first thing you would need to do is turn the gas off to the pool heater and disconnect the union that is usually right after the gas valve. The picture that I'm showing you is where our union was located. As you can see, I have taken the union tightening nut off. Once you get the gas valve off and the union open, you would need to take the 4 screws that hold the gas manifold to the burner section. Here is a look at the 4 burner ports that are on this Hayward pool heater. You can give them a visual inspection while they are in the manifold, or you can remove the burner ports with a 7/16 open-end wrench. When you do the visual inspection, you are looking for maybe a piece of rust or dirt that could eventually block or restrict the gas flow to the combustion compartment. In most cases, there is usually a critter or an insect that has built a nest and has blocked off one of the burner ports. In many cases, the blocked port will give a false conclusion that the flame sensor is not working, when in reality it is not sensing a flame because of the fact that the burner port that sends the flame to the flame sensor is plugged. Again, we already know that the pool heater is working. This planned maintenance inspection is to see if there's a possible burner blockage in the making. After you have done the inspection and everything looks good, it is fairly easy to put the gas manifold back into place.
just line up the burner ports with the combustion section holes, and then the 4 screws back in place, and then reattach the gas line union, and then of course turn the gas back on. It's as simple as that.
If you like this video, give me a thumbs up or a like. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to leave a comment. I sure do like to hear from you. Thanks for watching.